Hello, Internet. Welcome to Renegades React. Today we're going to be looking at some more game theory by the game theorists. Recently we were featured on there, and
yeah, we know, guys.
yeah, we know, and
We know.
trust me,
We
all in
appreciate
good time.
we appreciate you telling us.
And there may come a time when we do that video, but right now,
Yeah, we've got a different one queued up.
yeah,
here.
we got a different one. Okay, bullet bills. Always a common staple in the Mario games. Okay, for those of you who don't know what bullet bill is, well,
Did you look at that?
that's a bullet bill for you. Not very effective when it comes to most Mario games, although in a few of them they actually prove to be pretty deadly.
You've never seen Kaizo Mario, have you?
I have.
That first jump. Oh, I have to bounce across these 5 bullet bills perfectly to get across this gap that otherwise will kill me every time.
So pretty much super extreme Mario Maker before Mario Maker was even a thing.
Yeah, actually, that's sort of, a lot of people claim that that's the inspiration for Mario Maker. There's one where you are swimming underwater, and if you don't get through the tunnel in time, bullet. It's 1 square wide.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bullet.
So, okay.
It's beautiful and terrifying.
So Matt Pat, who's of game theory, saw bullet bills and really asked the question: how deadly is Super Mario's bullet bill? Well, we figured we would give this a watch and hear what he has to say and see for ourselves. So, what do you say we get into it?
Let's do it.
No! No! Oh God, no! No way! No way!
Yeah,
This is scarier than that husky girl in 7th grade gym class.
You have
Hold
time
up.
to contemplate your
Will this
death.
thing really hurt me? Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, where, I'm happy to say, we're finally out of our blue period. Look, no hot button issues in the title, no critiques of gamers or the gaming industry, no sales charts or serious music, and no PewDiePie. Well, there he was, but he won't be back for the duration of the episode, leaving us with just our favorite sociopath and a ridiculous question that can't actually be solved realistically, but we're gonna try to anyway, cause this is Game Theory,
Yeah,
damn
fun fact,
it,
one of
and
those,
we're
a bonsai bill.
so,
Oh, there's
question
no
of the day,
fish.
just how
Yep.
effective of a bullet is Mario's bullet bill? This actually came in from the Game Theorist Reddit page, and when I first saw the post, I instantly knew it had to become an episode. Loyal theorists Rumble Zeman and Roflicious did a ton of work to come up with their versions of the answer, and so now it's my job to analyze the data and give my take on whether Bullet Williams really live up to their name, or if they're just a bunch of projectile posers. To do that, we need to know the force that Bullet Bill O'Reilly is packing, but first we have to know the scale of the Mushroom Kingdom
Yes.
using Mario's height. I've calculated it before as 4 foot 8 inches in my 2 most controversial videos. Yeah, right. Boobs and Sonic. The thing is, in that calculation, I used Super Smash Brawl, which has inconsistent scaling across its characters,
Yes.
as many, and I mean many, diligent and helpful commenters are always eager to remind me. So
Yes.
refinding Mario's height shouldn't be a problem, except for one thing. Mario fluctuates in size, and not just when he has a mushroom either. It varies game to game. His relative size to Bowser, always
Yep.
changing. In the jump from 3D to 2D, change. Main series games
Yep.
to... What are you doing? Get that out of here. We don't acknowledge that
Oh, you
game's
don't talk about
existence.
that.
It's ridiculous. We can prove the guy has antisocial personality disorder and that his girlfriend has Stockholm syndrome, but we can't tell how frickin' tall he is? It's a bug up my butt. Well, let's try a different tactic. Why not compare Mario's height to someone consistent? Someone with a height that's easy to prove, someone who starred in one of the worst games of all time. Kazam! We're talking Shaq. What, you didn't know about Mario's cameo appearance in Shaq Fu? Of course you didn't, it doesn't exist. I'm talking about NBA Street 3v3 for the GameCube,
Right, I
where
remember
Shaquille
that.
O'Neal
That was-
himself can go toe-to-toe with Mario, White Men Can't Jump Man Mario, playing the old round ball. If Mario isn't scaled to real size here, well, that just wouldn't make a lick of sense. Shaq IRL stands at 7 foot 1 inch or 2.16 meters. Comparing the two using the power of math puts Mario at 4 foot 6 inches or 1.39 meters. Finally, Shaquille O'Neal does something useful in a video game. But seriously, Shaq Fu successfully getting funded on Indiegogo? Do you people just have so much money that you don't know what to do with it, or what am I missing here? Even more absurd than people actually
Nostalgia
funding that
factor.
atrocity is that now we need Mario to cross over with himself. You see, we just calculated the height of 3D modern Mario, not 2D retro Mario. Again,
Yep.
something you ever helpful commenters taught me. Sonic episode. So, we need a game that fuses both eras of Mario together. Can you come up with one? I'll let you think about it. Super Mario RPG. Sorry, I couldn't
Okay.
wait that long. Super
Yeah.
Mario RPG
All right.
has a room
Okay.
in Booster's Tower where you switch between 3D and
Mario
2D
and 2D
Mario.
Mario,
By
yeah.
comparing Mario's pre-curtain, post-curtain, and times running out forms, we find that 8-bit Mini Mario is 0.65 meters or 2 foot 1 inch. It's so tiny. But it is humanly possible. At that height, Mario is just barely taller than the record holder for the shortest woman in the world, Jyoti Amji, who stands at 2 foot 0.7 inches or 0.6 meters. Funny enough,
Wow.
though, Mini Mario would tower over the world's shortest man, Chandra Dangi, who stands at an incredible 1 foot 10 inches. 1 foot 10 inches, 0.55 meters. Having
Wow.
solved that gaming mystery once and for all, we can apply it to our beady-eyed bullet. Remember, these quote-unquote bullets are huge. So Mario getting hit by one is going to be less of a typical bullet injury and more like getting hit by a car or
Yeah.
falling out of a window. Those things hurt you because of fast changes in velocity over a short time. You fall out the window and hit the ground, you go from moving very quickly to a speed of 0 in a fraction of a second. The body can't handle the force of that change. Quite literally, it's not the fall that kills you, it's the sudden stop. For a
Yeah.
car crash or bullet bill strike, it's the exact opposite. A person, in this case Mario, will be going from 0 to some speed almost instantaneously. If the screen didn't freeze, you would probably see him getting thrown backward as the bullet bill causes him to accelerate or plow through his body if the surface area of the contact is actually quite small. But looking at the bullet bills, it's actually not the case. In the end, it's
Yeah.
all about force, meaning we eventually want to get here. Mass times acceleration equals FAP. FAP? Oh, physics, you so dirty. Minus the coefficient of friction times mass times 9.81 meters per second squared, which represents gravity. Today, the thing we're interested in is FAP. Well, with Min, isn't that always the case? It was also the thing we were interested in during the boob episode. Haha, nudge nudge. FAP is the applied force, and that's the one that's going to hurt,
Okay,
which is
Matt.
why we're solving
Yep.
for it. So let's start filling in these numbers. Friction is easy. Here's a chart that gives bullet-shaped objects a frictional coefficient of 0.295. And over
Yep.
here, acceleration is 0. Yes, Bullet Billy Bob Thornton is accelerating enough to counteract any wind resistance, or should I say drag, he's flying into, but his constant speed across the screen means his net acceleration is 0, which knocks
Correct.
out this whole side of the equation. In other words, all we need is mass and love. But for now, we'll just focus on mass. Bullet Billiam Shakespeare here is basically a cylinder with a cone on top. So break out the geometry, because we're about to turn up the volume. Volume. Get it? Because we're calculating Never mind, my jokes are wasted here. Counting the pixels and then using Mario as our scale, we're able to find that each projectile Pete is 112,939 cubic centimeters. No way! Can you believe it? Of course you can't, because that number is meaningless. What the heck does 112,000 cubic centimeters look like? I don't know, and I'm certain you don't either. So let me translate that for you. That's a bullet the size of a small toddler headed straight for your face. But will it kill you? To know that, we need to unearth what Bullet Billy Mays is made out of. And let's just cut to the
Rest in
chase.
peace.
The answer is iron. Notice that Bullet Bill and Ted get launched out of a cannon. Clue number 1. And not just any cannon. Cannons that sometimes receive names, like Big Bertha in Super Mario RPG. Real-life cannons also had a tradition of being named, like Roaring Megs from the 17th century, or Mons Meg in Edinburgh, Scotland. Clue number 2. And in the early days of cannon warfare, it was was round shot, the stereotypical cannonball as we think of it, made to rip through the hulls of ships. A ball of pure iron. Eventually, round shot was completely phased out for shells, which had better aerodynamic effects. These too were made out of iron. In the airships of Super Mario Bros. 3, we see both types of ammo getting put to use. Round shot and our Bullet Bill Clintons in the shape of a shell, both getting shot out of cannons, and both with the same black shine of iron. Clue number 3. So really, Bullet Bills are just glorified cannonballs. They should be called Cannon Bills. Wait, Cannonball, Cannon Bill. Half-Life 3 confirmed. Now, iron has a nice mid-range density at 7.87 grams per cubic centimeter. Time to visit the DMV, or density equals mass divided by volume. We need mass, so Markiplier's density by volume gives us 888 kilograms, which again means nothing until you convert it into a metric we all understand, and that's 1 ton. 2,000 pounds, or half a car's worth of bullet headed straight at Mario. That'll teach you to grind your brother's shoe at the end of tennis games. So, back to our equation. 0 equals FAP minus 0.295 times 888 kilograms times 9.81 meters per second squared. That results in 2,570 newtons of force, which actually, that isn't all that much, especially for an object of that size. That's half the force of a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. It takes at least 3,300 newtons to crack a rib and 4,000 to crack the femur, so it's not going to be breaking any bones. And to verify, I checked the speed of everything. Bullet Bill travels at about 12 meters per second, or about 27 miles per hour. It'd be like getting hit with a mid-sized moped. Sure, it would hurt, but probably wouldn't do any permanent damage. So we have our answer.
Yep.
Bullet Bill? Ha! Hardly. More like leisurely meandering William. Okay, but let's up the ante. Surely this guy has to do some damage. Bonsai Bill. These puppies are the size of 3 mini Marios stacked on top of each other. It's a 6-foot-tall behemoth. Redoing all the calculations we just went through, volume jumps up to about 7.4 million cubic centimeters, mass becomes about 58,000 kilograms, and force skyrockets to 168,000 newtons. That, my friends, would certainly do some damage if it weren't traveling so slowly. Altogether, Bonsai Bill clocks in at 7.7 meters per second, or 17 miles per hour. It's not like it's coming out of nowhere and surprising you. The hover round is clocking in speeds that would make Bonsai Bill jealous. And because it's so huge and rounded in the front, you're not actually going to be hit with a full 168,000 newtons anyway. The impact is going to be spread across a large cross-section of your body, meaning that a lot of that force is going to dissipate elsewhere. No, Bullet Bill isn't an issue, nor is Bonsai Bill. Here's the one you want to look out for. The Golden Bonsai Bill. Even bigger, clocking in at 20 million cubic centimeters.
And gold
That's
is
the
more
equivalent
dense.
of about 5,300 gallons. Got milk? Except that we're talking pure gold. So not only is Gold Member here the biggest bullet in the franchise, it's also the most massive. See, gold has a very high density, over twice as dense as iron, making this gallon guzzler 390,000 kilograms, or 430 tons of gold. To compare, this one bullet would make up 1/10 of the total gold in Fort Knox. In June of 2012, gold was valued at $1,618.82 per ounce. That means that this golden bullet would be worth, in total, $2,227,496,320.98. Sorry, still not as much as diamond armor. Oh, and it only travels 2 meters per second, or 4 miles per hour in total. So definitely not deadly, unless of course someone pops a non-bill bullet in your ass in their attempts to steal away the gold.
I want to know where the gold at. I want the gold. Give me the gold. I want the gold.
Where de gold at? I want de gold, indeed. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
Oh, man.
Did you like the video? Then you have one different person to thank, NatureBox. Wait, I know we've done this before, but hold up. I think you'll really like this one. Get this,
so...
they're snacks that get delivered.
Okay, so Bullet Bill.
So ridiculous jokes aside,
Yeah.
his math, I think, checks out. Although, from the look of things, bullet bills typically have some sort of internal propulsion system.
Probably, yeah. I was
means-
going to say what because of gravity, it would start falling slightly.
Yes. I mean, in no case do you fire something completely straight like you can't fire a bullet completely straight. There will be drop. It's just that in order to see that drop, that bullet has to go a very long way because it's moving very quickly.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not entirely sure about his comparison with Shaq. I find that's interesting. And then Super Mario RPG, he's clearly stated Mario changes size between games. Although, yeah, that one's believable. I'm not sure about the connection between Mario and Shaq. That one's weird. That being said, yeah, I mean, basically, I looked at this and went, yeah, no, sitting here thinking about it, Bullet Bill is not going to do very much damage.
Yeah, in terms of density, in terms of the speed he is going, won't do much.
Right.
Won't do much at all.
Fun fact for those of you out there, gold is actually so dense that when you see people pick up a gold bar in the movies, yeah, that's super fake.
Yeah, I was going to say the one where it is portrayed really well is the Italian Job from 2003, because they have a grate, a rolling grate, a rolly grate that they put the gold on, and then they pick it up and they put it in the cars.
Yeah,
and you see that's how you do it. And then there was another movie that portrayed it pretty well. It was Die Hard with a Vengeance, strangely enough.
All right.
Because they break into the international gold reserve in New York, and they find this gigantic gold bar, and John McClane picks it up and then hands it to Sam Jackson. He's like, "What's this?" He's like, "Oh, what's this?" He's like, "It's a brick of gold." He's like, "Really?"
Yeah.
And he actually uses it later on. He breaks into a car window with it, and they have to and. He's like, hell no, man. He's like, you're gonna have to give that back eventually. He's like, hell no, man. I'm keeping this shit. He's like, I'm gonna invest this shit. I'm gonna put it in bonds and shit, and it's gonna work for me. And it's just like, all right. And then eventually they have to get a new car.
Yeah, and it's just
he forgets the gold bar in the
dang
back seat. And
the worst.
It was portrayed actually really well because they're trying to break the window of this car to try and get in, and Sam Jackson is like, move aside, and he like gets it, he like holds it here in the middle and just like breaks the window with it. He's like, after you.
That's the best sidekick he's ever had.
Yeah.
It's
got bad motherfucker. I was gonna say the only thing would be better is if it had bad motherfucker written on top of it.
So I will say this: I am glad that he took into account air resistance. That was one thing that I was not expecting. In a lot of cases, in introductory physics, air resistance is sort of ignored, especially in Newtonian motion. So I'm glad that he did bring that in.
Okay.
So, but overall, yeah, pretty good work.
Okay. So yeah, game theory. Impressed with the work as always. I mean, Pat always doing the video gamers work and everything. You're
sometimes
doing Gaben's work, son.
Sometimes make some spurious claims.
Yeah,
but,
sometimes, but
I mean that happens.
It's video games. I mean, honestly,
yeah, it's video games
so
where
accurate.
I mean, it's not like in games today, like Bethesda games, where you can actually, or Bethesda and Valve actually does this as well. You can actually get an exact distance reading. It's very nice. Valve, for example, they use hammer units, which hammer units actually will directly convert into real-world distances.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly what the conversion is, unfortunately.
Huh.
Which kills me, but Yeah,
All right.
it's pretty great. And in this case, yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot he can really work with.
No,
But
the fact that they're so inconsistent with Mario's height and everything.
yeah.
But
yeah.
hey, it's a video game. It's not
Yeah,
meant to
I
be
mean,
taken seriously.
You know, it's not that kind of continuity. That's a little much.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
yeah.
So, well, what did you all think of it? Did you think Matt Pat's theory holds water? I think so. I think in terms of the bullet bills, their density and everything, considering a normal human body, it wouldn't affect much. All you have to do is just stand there and like tense up a little bit and just.
I mean, basically, it's equivalent to getting hit by a car that's not moving terribly fast.
Yeah. So yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know in the comments below. Also, check out Matt Pat and Game Theory. Check it. The original video is in the description below. Check out Game Theorists. They have all sorts of interesting theories, and some including us. Hey. So. Until next time, Internet, that's going to be it. Leave a comment if there's something else you want us to watch. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. And don't forget to subscribe. So next time, we'll see you later. Peace out.